Okay, very good morning to you. Welcome. It is a parliament, so we're already in session. Okay, welcome. This is the discussion segment of Good Morning Anambra. Of course, we've been talking, but this time around, we want to sit and talk properly. Okay, that's what we'll call a discussion segment. All right, now this morning we're going to look at Anambra State Children's Parliament, empowering the next generation for leadership and advocacy. Very big topic, very strong topic. Sounds like political, the kind of English they speak, and then they will budget billions of naira and sink it down. I hope these children are not trying to copy from the adults. Okay, but we're going to look at all this morning. My name is Ijoma Uche, and I have guests that has joined me this morning. They are Right Honorable Victory Ekunife. She is the Speaker, Anambra State Children's Parliament. Good morning, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Glad to be here.
Okay. And then Honorable Nwigwe Clinton, Deputy Speaker, Anambra State Children's Parliament. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Okay. How do they greet you? Did I get it? Madam Speaker and
Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Okay, all of you are Mr.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, really? Okay, Mr. Speaker and Mr. Deputy Speaker. Okay, I think it's good you lecture me on that so that I won't make mistake that you will put it to me and start sending me to jail this morning. Okay, welcome, the honorable members of the House. Okay, let me start by asking you to tell us more about you. So who are you, the Speaker?
Okay, Right Honorable Victory Ekunife, like you earlier introduced. I'm the Speaker, Anambra State Children's Parliament 8th Assembly, and I'm a law student in Chukwemeka Odumegwu University. Hail from Nibo, from Oka South Government area, to be precise.
Okay, how long have you been in this business of Parliament?
This is the third year, and it's a 3-year tenure, so our tenure will be coming to an end this year.
Really?
Yes.
Before you get to the position of the Speaker, have you had any position before now? Before you were elected the Speaker of the Assembly?
That was my secondary school. I was deputy head girl, and we also had a parliament in my school, Federal Government College.
How long have you been in this business? Because you're sounding very sound. Okay.
So I was deputy speaker in the House
school
too. Yes, ma'am.
Which school did you attend?
Federal Government College in Iste.
Oh. Okay, that's good. And then, Mr. Deputy Speaker, can you also give us your background?
Okay, I'm Nwigwe Clinton.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a student of Ulysses. I'm studying cybersecurity. I'm in my first year. I'm from Ebonyi State.
You said here.
Just same 3 years, then on.
Okay. So how did you get into Anambra State House of Assembly, Parliament? Did you attend secondary school here too?
No, it was in Onitsha, St. Anthony of Padua.
Okay, Anambra State. I mean, you attended secondary school in Anambra State.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool. Which school?
St. Anthony of Padua High School. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Today, like we said, we want to look at empowering the new generation for leadership and the advocacy. Of course, we have started doing that now. This is a new generation that we want to hand over the good qualities. They want to hand over the best that we can, so that we ensure that they will reject the political system of Nigeria, okay, and give us better life. That's what we are asking for. Now, let's start with this. What were the intentions of this meeting that you had yesterday?
Okay, yesterday was annual sitting, though it was supposed to have been done last year, December, but due to certain inconsistencies, we had to move it to January. I think part of the reason was because some of the parliamentarians were not available due to the season, so we had to shift it to January so we can have enough attendance. And the outcome of this sitting, we actually came to a whole lot of resolutions, of which one of them is the issue of the states to look more into providing the juvenile correctional center. Now, this particular issue has been on our lips for so long. In fact, we had a joint sitting with Anambra State House of Assembly. That was last year. And it was part of the things that we spoke about. The speaker promised us he would look into it. And I've seen that we are not just the persons or body talking about this particular issue. It's something that it goes round. And I was opportune to visit the Anambra State High Court. That was around November. And the very first day I went there was a case that involved 2 children, a boy of 15 years and a girl of 12 years. The boy defiled her sexually, and the mother of the girl had to, take up the whole issue, saying the boy must be charged, but because he was a child, Justice Oti, she just granted him bail as he should just go home for the meantime. But then something happened before then. The matter went to the magistrate's court first, and the judge said it had to move to high court. But then it was not under his jurisdiction to let the boy go just like that. So the boy was kept under police custody for 8 months. He was not he was not even in the adult correctional center.
Adults?
He was not there. He was under police custody. So because when he appeared in court, he was not putting on the uniform. He was just on his normal clothes for 8 months. And let's now compare. He's 15. So let's compare. Imagine how the adult correctional center is. They now come to think of how the police custody will be. So it's actually an issue. And Justice Oti made mention of this need for the juvenile correctional center, even while presiding over that case.
We don't have anything like that here?
We don't have.
Okay.
And
so it's one of your advocacies?
It is. Yes, and in general, I saw one of the programs that was conducted, I think, not here. So she spoke about it, saying that this particular provision has been brought down to the concurrent list. So the states can now make provision for it. It's no longer something we have to wait for it to come from the top.
From the federal.
So we are still waiting for the government. So please do something about this. Because on daily basis, I think this very program I'm talking about was I think around April last year. Whereas this case happened, it was brought to High Court around that November. So it says even after her own address, such cases still come up. There is an urgent call that I believe that should receive an urgent response.
Okay, very well. That is one of the things you guys deliberated on yesterday.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yes,
can you tell us some of the things, apart from this, some other things that came up yesterday in the meeting?
Okay, some of the other things that we deliberated on yesterday was one of the representatives from Anambra East and the ones from West. They spoke more about the flooding during the flood season and all that. One of the major concerns was that during the flood seasons, sometimes the school equipment, the board, the chairs, the lockers, everything, even the books in the library, the shelves, some of them get destroyed due to impact of flood, and the flood swallows up even the whole building. So now one of the major concerns was how to move out all these equipment there. And they were just calling on the state government and also providing a shelter, providing accommodation for these internally displaced people. They are providing shelter and everything, and even food, because their source of provision of food has also been destroyed by the flood. Then another thing we spoke about was about sex education, sex education, rate of child pregnancy, teenage pregnancy, and all that. And this one is is most popular in the constituency. He threw more light on this. He said that most of this is very rampant over there. And
teenage pregnancies.
Yes, sir.
Teenage pregnancies.
Yes, teenage pregnancy, and it is very common. It's just like a norm there. And coupled with the fact that there are many brothels in that area, like they are not hiding it. You just come out and be seeing it, just like competition over there. And
we are. And which local government?
Anambra East. Anambra East. I think it was Anambra East and they mentioned.
East.
Anambra East.
Okay.
I said around Aglori.
Okay.
That's the brothels.
Okay.
So now, and the thing is just like, and most of the people that serve as the renderers of services are the children. And it's
in those brothels.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's something of great concern that we should look into. That's one of the things that we deliberated on yesterday.
Okay, that's cool. I think you guys are really doing a very wonderful work. But let me start from the beginning, from what you said about flooding, and then the chairs and the tables and the school, what do you call structures getting bad after the flooding. I know that there's a provision for that by the state government, even the federal government. During the flooding season, we provide shelter for them where the people are asked to go and stay. And even the Commissioner of Education also told us here that you have different school system. I mean, what do you call it? Yes, school system with those of them that are from the flood-prone areas. That while others are on holidays, they are in school. Okay, so that they will make up for the days they are going to be outside their place. And then and you start wondering, if you know that flood is coming in January, or it's coming in September, and you are there, if you are moving, why wouldn't you move your properties and the other things? You don't just wait for government to do everything. We are in the parliament, we are just rubbing minds. Okay, so that we won't be having this kind of problems. Then coming to these teenage pregnancies. What are you, Madam Speaker, let me come to you. What are you doing to, okay, Mr. Speaker, sorry, man. Okay, what are you doing to address this issue through campaigns? Because these children, they have parents. Is it that the parents give them out for prostitution? Okay, otherwise, how can a teenager be serving in brothel, getting pregnant, and delivering children in the the parents' house, and nobody's talking about it?
You know, this particular issue, we actually deliberated on it from various angles yesterday. One of which is the fact that some of the parents are actually the issue. Imagine when a parent, the mother is married, yet in the presence of the child, the mother is bringing in another man to the house. And they feel the child you don't really know much. Who will they emulate? From the other angle, okay, he's made mention of the brothels. I think one of the brothels that were closed down by the Commission of Women Affairs, that was last year. Some of these girls there were not Anambrans. They're from another state. But the fact that they are in the states, it's an issue.
It's an issue. It's an issue for the states.
It's an issue for the states. So these children, okay, let me just be very specific. When it comes to Anambra West, the standard of education has actually reduced there. And how do I know this? The fact that the house is made up of representatives from the various constituencies, which are the various local governments, 21 local government areas. All the constituencies, the representatives come with peculiar issues, and they are in best position to tell us the things that are happening over there. Because as I'm in Oka South, I cannot be in Anambra West. So she said that in her secondary school, the rate at which the girls went into marriage, over there, they don't even, this one is not unwanted pregnancy now. They just wait. SS3 students, while they conclude their NECO practical, you're already seeing them talking about marriage. So many people don't see education as a necessity anymore. So since that's the case, the SS1 students are looking up to the SS3s. What are the parents doing about that? Some of this, when we say Gen Z era, some of the children have already overgrown the control of their parents. And it started somewhere. It might start when the parents don't really calm down to listen to their children. The last program that we had with UNICEF, the thing was listening to the future. How do you know what's going on with a child if you don't listen to that child? Obviously, as you grow, there are certain changes that happen in the body. The first time this child starts feeling, I'm feeling somehow towards this person, if the parent is not there to listen, she might have to seek for counsel from a peer. Of course, we don't know what will be the outcome. So these things are, and you said, what is the plan towards eradicating this via sensitization programs? Okay, when we were preparing the 2025 work plan, which VOLAC always sponsors, so it's part of the programs that we added there. Sensitization program, not just sensitizing the children, but the parents also, especially in that Anambra West. At some point, I thought it was much there, though it's much. But I just learned recently that when you come down to Dunukofia also, the representatives also from there, they raised that same concern, like he said, Anocha constituency. The parliamentarian, Honorable Ifoma Idu, she said this one was actually a life experience. It's not as though she heard it from somebody that's close to her mom's shop. That you see this 14-year-old girl that was already pregnant. And all they will do, when the girl gets pregnant, they want to protect the family name. They will just take her out of this community, and when she come back, it's after delivery. They don't see it as anything. The baby, obviously, the parents want to take care of the baby. And because the child is too small to cater for, and she finished catering for herself before looking for a baby to take care of. So parents they've actually accepted these things. They've accepted them. Most of them, they feel, what can I do? Can you hear me make one? Oh, mom, no matter what she or she does, these excuses. So I feel, because I know a responsible parent who started from the crèche to take care of the child.
But you should know, why you are saying that, you should know that there are other parents like you, that their children are not like your own children. So why won't you start asking yourself question, why are my children different from these ones? Where did I miss it? Why didn't I get it right? Why won't I have children, good children that will grow, morally and otherwise, go to school and come out excellently?
I think that question will come from someone who has even realized that the child is not coming up properly. Because some of them have not yet realized. All they feel my responsibility is to provide financially.
That's all.
Where is the child? When I'm not at school, they don't know.
Just to give them food and give them money. Of course, you don't give what you don't have, okay?
Exactly.
If you're not properly brought up, you won't know what to do when it comes to bringing other children up. Okay, let's also look at some of the things that came out of the meeting yesterday. Adele?
Oh. Okay, we made mention of creating an enabling environment for children with disabilities.
Okay.
Looking at the topic, that's empowering future leaders, which are the children, to advocacy and leadership. No, it's only a child who is in proper condition that can grow and improve, because obviously leaders are made. So, but come to think of it, we have special schools where children with disabilities are mostly found. Just very few of them are seen in other schools, I mean the public schools. Okay, when I come to my school, there is this young man I know. I think he's in political science department. I look at him and I wonder. He makes use of the wheelchair, but he comes for lectures. He is so committed to acquiring education. But now there is a constraint. When he gets to the entrance of these departments and faculties, most of them don't have these ramps. In fact, I don't think I know any department that has ramps, not even my own faculty. So how do these people have access? When we are talking about leadership, in our country, how many of the leaders do we know that have one disability or the other? Most of them feel they are not really important in the society. That's because from the initial stage, they didn't get involved in what is being done. They feel, I go to the special school, I acquire education, I can
Is it that they didn't get involved or they were not involved? Because that's the way our people look at disabled people. Okay, what would this one do?
I think it's
they were not given opportunity to, fix themselves.
Yes, that's one. Some of them don't really have that confidence. Okay. They feel it's the people without disabilities that can be president now. What are you talking about?
Yes.
But that's all because they've not married themselves with the society. Now, a child who is in special school, school and a child who is in a white stream school, which will do better? Definitely you want. Why? Because when you come to, let's take for instance, Unizik, the competition is high. So even if you have one disability, you will want to get involved in what is being done. You want to study. You want to go for political positions. Why? Because you are not in the midst of those that you will look upon and say, these are my likes. But the edge of contention now is if they decide to attend the schools, how do they have access? When this enabling environment is not provided for.
And who will make the environment enable for them?
Whoever is in charge of the places. Okay, there's this JONAPID. JONAPID, I think, is an association in Anambra State. I think it's a national association, but I was privileged to be in their meeting last year, and part of the things that were discussed said every leader in all these public places, I think that day the PFN chairman, president, was present. Traditional rulers, I know the Igwe of Amanuke was present. And it's less for the leaders in these different places, even in homes. Landlords are expected to provide these things. So if you come to a university, the vice chancellor is expected to push for these things. How will a whole university? So our resolution yesterday was that the Commission of Education should add these things as requirements for accreditation.
Okay, don't worry, we're coming to the resolutions. Maybe we'll take a break and when we'll come back, we'll bring it. But before we take the break, let me still ask you, are these all that you have, Mr. Deputy Speaker, that you deliberated on? Are there any, is there any other one that we need to talk about?
Not more, there are no more. Because also in line with that, juvenile correctional centers or the VAP Commission, violation against person prohibition law, the implementation of the Commission of the Law, Commission of the Law, others.
Okay. And like that case that you mentioned, where did you drive it to?
You mean that's of the...
Yes, who have you consulted about the child, the 15-year-old child?
Actually, Justice Oti, I told you that the boy was granted bail to come back for hearing later and but from his house.
Okay.
Because he's a child and he cannot be kept in adult correctional center. Okay. So he had to, in fact, there was not much deliberation on that matter. She just dismissed the case and told them to come back. I think they gave them a date to come back for further hearing.
Because we intervened?
No, because Justice Oti herself, she knows what she's doing. I really, really envy her.
Okay.
I envy her
Thank
a lot.
you. You already have a role model. Yes, but this case of disability, what do you think government can do to help the disabled, especially the children among them, to be able to meet up with their counterparts?
Okay, one thing that the government can do is, one, sometimes they should organize something like sensitization programs for the people with disability. Okay. Also, try to organize things that they will mix up with others, programs, or even in the schools, try to do things that not discriminating them from what is being done, and also in the schools, provision of these RAMs and others, because there is this man, the program we went for last year, ending of last year,
Project Trust,
organized by Trust Fund.
Project
the man
Trust
said that even when he was in church, he was not a beggar. He was one of the persons pushing for this disability law. He said that he went to church on a Sunday. So, like, he traveled home or something like that. Then he went to church. But when there was RAM in the church, this was in the church. But when he wanted to access the RAM, it was too high. Like, the level of the RAMs was too high. So, him using his wheelchair to go up or his crutches to go up, it will be very difficult for him. He might even fall in the process. So he now pushed his wheelchair to the side of the staircase and was there listening. And while he was there, people were just coming and dropping money for him, thinking that he was a beggar or so. So, and some people use because of this and stay indoors and stay secluded from everything that is being done.
So they don't see me different from others.
Yeah, they seem different from others. But the man said that one of the things that made him not to feel that way, because he was already used to that because
and that's a determined mind.
Yeah, that's a determined mind. So, our mission here is to make others determine too.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, we'll take a break here. We'll take a break here to bring you some people that we'll talk to on the street concerning the topic we're handling this morning. So they are going to, we'll listen to what they said, and when we come back, we'll start looking at the resolutions that were taken yesterday from the meeting of these honorable members in the House.
Most of them lack care, proper care by the government and even the parents. So I believe that the government should be able to have a program that will take care of the children educationally and they make them be more responsible society. Most of the children are scattered all over. They're scattered everywhere. And some of them into all forms of criminality. They need to be arrested and then channeled towards a very positive environment so that they're very useful to themselves and to the family and to the government and to Nigeria as a large.
The problem that Nigerian children are facing is the one that is very peculiar in terms of it has to do because when you empower the children's parents by providing a good job, a good economic environment that is favorable for the children, they can make money and train themselves. But I don't think the children are one of the vulnerable members of the society. They can actually train themselves if you don't empower their parents to have the money, to have the economic, to be economically buoyant, to provide for them and then give them good education. Secondly, I just think that the government should start by, because when I was in primary school, I went to public primary school, and that time we have good teachers, things were better 15 years back. But now, if you see a child that is going to public school, it's like a curse, because the government have a kind of neglect the public schools. So I think they should go back and re-equip and make the public school good so that schools can be affordable to the children.
What the government can do now is about parenting. I think we should also take this vision or take this role to the parents, the guidance. Because if you see all the menace that happen now, it's about poor parenting, or maybe the parents, because of the economy and the insecurity that is happening, parents are not actually doing their job. And then also the religion churches also should also be empowered, and maybe they're giving the platform also to actually help talk to these children, pray for them, and then teach them the vices, because we have a lot of vices, both in school, at home, in the environment, in the compound, things that happen, there's so much. So I think it's poor parenting, and then the churches are also coming to help us with this fight and win this war.
I see so many children working and suffering basically. So I feel the government should try to take those children off the streets, try to feed them, maybe provide for them, because some of them I think they don't have anywhere to stay or what to eat in a day. So I think maybe take them to schools, try to get them off the street, because this route can be very dangerous most times. So I feel they should be provided for and cared for.
Okay, good to have you back. We are still here looking at how to empower our children for the future to ensure that we'll have a better society. And I still have the Speaker of the Child's Parliament with me, Victory, and we wait the Deputy Speaker. You're welcome, gentlemen. Okay, let's now, before we get to the resolutions you took yesterday, let's now get to addressing the child's abuse, neglect, and insecurity. Who is, responsible for this? Who are we going to hold responsible for a child not feeling secured, being abused, and the whole lot of things? Let me start with you, Speaker, the Deputy Speaker.
Okay, issue of insecurity, child abuse. Okay. That's one of the reasons why we are pushing for the VAB commission. This is just insecurity, like, because some children now CRL made provisions for it against child abuse and physical all that. But why we are pushing for this VAB commission is that VAB commission, like, it's just provision against person's rights.
What is VAB?
VAB, violation against person's prohibition law.
Oh, okay.
So this is just like the VAB commission is just centered against that violation of person's law. So the VAB commission, we are pushing for the VAB commission, we are pushing for the commission of the VAB commission. Also, the Ministry of Women Affairs and the Commissioner, Mrs. Ifi Obinna, has been doing her very best towards this particular issue of child abuse and others, child insecurity.
Okay, I was actually looking at the who if a child is abused, if a child doesn't feel secured, and doesn't even go to school and a whole lot of things, who are we supposed to hold responsible for that?
Okay, it's a mention of two things now. If a child is abused, it depends on the circumstances surrounding the abuse. Assuming the child is abused, let's say in the school, obviously the leadership of the school will be held responsible. The child is abused maybe in knowledge of the parents, but since the parents are the first, no matter where it happens, you still ask the parents, how did this come about under your nose? So now that's one. Now, if the child is not in school, Section 17 of the Child's Rights Law made mention of the provision of the universal, basic, free, and compulsory education. And this particular one is the duty of the government. Education is universal, right? It's basic. Now it's free, but it's not yet compulsory.
It's not yet compulsory?
It's not yet compulsory.
How are we going to make it compulsory? In school, like in this state, we have made it free. And then
that box. But the box of making it compulsory is still blank. How would that be?
How?
Since children cannot really speak up for themselves at some point, which is the real essence of the Anambra State Children's Parliament. We are speaking now. Children should not be found on the streets. During school hours, since it's just for the government to provide these things, then if a child is found in the streets, then it's also the duty of the government they ought to pick these children. But then we have an issue when we talk about this thing. The issue now is when these children are withdrawn from the streets, where would they be kept? It has always been a question.
Madam Commissioner, if we always talk about holding centers for children that were picked on the streets, but that's one of it. But let's also look at if the children were found on the streets, the government picks them. If they're not found on streets, they're not found in school, perhaps they're found at homes. Whose responsibility? If I decide not to send my child to school, we're looking at making education compulsory now. So how do governments come into my house to make sure that my children go to school?
Obviously, governments will not do everything for us. That's when our governor will always say, if you see something, you say something. The neighbors, it's a social responsibility, I think.
Nice. Social responsibility and neighborhood watch. Okay, if you find out that a child that is living in that house is not going to school, ask why. If you think that the mother will not give you the answer, will start quarreling you as usual, why must you? Or even a word that is not her child, it's somebody she's living with, but she doesn't go to school. She's busy washing clothes or doing house chores while others are at school. Raise an alarm. Tell Madam Commissioner. Such things are the things that we look out for to be good neighbors. That's neighborhood watch. Okay, to make sure that we get it right. Otherwise, you don't expect government to be entering all the houses to find, is there any child here that is not going to school? You know it's not possible. So we have to help government to do this job. Have I spoken your mind?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's now come back to the resolutions that you took yesterday. I'll start with you, Deputy Speaker. So what and what do you did you resolve yesterday to ensure that what we are talking about today, it's going to be fruitful?
Okay, about the cases of the children with disability. Yeah. So one of our resolutions about that is that the government should look into accreditation of schools, especially the Ministry of Education should look into the accreditation of schools, especially universities, because universities are accredited every 4 years. Yeah. So during that period of accreditation, they should look into all these provision of RAMs and other things that will help the people with disability to fit in to the social life of the students and all that. Then also, no, the thing is that also also the classes, like lecture rooms, are always up. Like the staircase, the stairways are always very high. So sometimes I even imagine, I'm not with any disability, but it's sometimes very hard for me to go off for lectures. Then I wonder, what if somebody with disability wants to come off a lecture? What will he or she do? Also, the distance between lecture places and all that, the stress and all that. So we see that one of the major ways to help these people and these children with disability is to provide all the necessities that will help them fit in to the society or the schools.
Okay, beautiful. And now let me ask you, Mr. Speaker, what can stakeholders, the government, the communities, and the families do to address these issues that we have raised here?
As I said previously, that traditional rulers were involved in this move. Because if you go to the various towns, even town halls, we don't expect the governor to come and build a ramp there. So as stakeholders, they have this general duty of making sure that this enabling environment is provided. And I want to add to what he said. One of the things we resolved yesterday was that primary schools even that go through registration, this should be part of the requirements. Because if the enabling environment is not there, the children that we aim to bring into the society and blend.
What should be part of the requirements?
The provision of enabling environments such as ramps.
Okay.
Even the toilet stand for those that want to make use of, because someone is on the wheelchair.
Let me get you right. Is it going to be a part of the criteria you meet to establish a private school or mission school or government school, because the schools are already existing?
I think they do, what's it called? Supervision.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, supervision. So you expect them, when you go to supervise school, you ensure that these things are in place.
Exactly.
In every school, not going to take Ofonubu and run envelopes. These are some of the things, feel free, exercise. These are some of the things that the supervisors of schools are supposed to look into. I think I know their chairman. When you go to school, you check out for the things, for the enabling environment that will let children, that will enhance good teaching and learning to ensure that our children go to school. Are there other resolutions we might want to talk about before we conclude?
Yes, other resolutions.
Feel free.
Okay, other resolutions about this teenage pregnancy, these broader issues. Last year, our commissioner for Women Affairs, if you now, shut down one brothel last year. One brothel was bought. So, and one of the cases that one of the honorable members raised was that in his school, the school he passed through, there is a brothel in front of the school. Just if you come out of the school, you
secondary school,
brothel. And
secondary school.
Secondary school, yes. And it's a government secondary school. So now also around the school, 3 different hotels. Same thing. So what will the child do? Okay, if a child is on a daily basis, you are coming to school, you see a hotel before you see your school. You are going home, you see a hotel, you see a hotel. This, like, it raises some issues in the mind. Even if you see the activities being done there, because they don't hide the activities.
They don't.
They don't.
And they watch young girls being taken into that place and coming out, and before you know, they'll start marketing them.
Yes.
You know, you can go.
The guys, it pollutes the mind of the guys, even the girls.
It does.
Sometimes, because you will see those people that are being used as sex tools. They will live extravagant lives, and you will be
use phones,
like,
wear fine clothes, and then they'll tell you this is what they do.
Yes, so all that, just to shut down all these protests, especially look into the case of this brothel close to the school, because it does not count at all.
Beautiful resolution.
I want to add to that.
Go ahead, dear.
The perpetrators, because these people are corporates, they should be, their apprehension should be made public, so they can serve as deterrent.
You don't just shut down the hotel. Arrest the owner of the hotel, the proprietor.
Bring the person. You know, recently social media it's a vehicle that doesn't need fuel. You just need to put it and it will fly. So by that, the government don't need to visit every brothel. Neighboring brothel, we just need to see that this person has been apprehended, or look at videos everywhere and sentenced to whatever they will run. You know, during this
they will shut down their own hotels on their own.
During this season, one of the parliamentarians said that let's know that these brothels are people's business. You know, in the house you see divergent views. That they are people's businesses. What I said, how will you place the life of someone on stake and telling me it's someone's business? Your business, you have to have the money, and someone's future is jeopardized. So that's
not just one person.
People. Okay, apart from the girls, what of the children that come out of this thing? Some of them, maybe they're scared to abort, like they're always advised to do. And then the children come out and become, because obviously, imagine the kind of parenting that child will receive.
That's the same.
It's an issue.
Very big one. Very big one. Okay, as we'll get towards concluding this discussion now, let's look at what do you have in mind to tell your people, apart from the resolutions you have taken now, you advise your generation on the way out to live this life. I know you guys are facing serious challenges. It's not like the time that we grew up, okay? But then there are still remnants among the multitude. So you have to use this opportunity to talk to your peers, to your Gen Zs, and advise them on the better way to live this life, to survive it. Go ahead. Let me start with you.
Okay. Now, a better way to survive life, there is, I don't know how to put it, but okay, now, live a crime-free life. Yes, as teenagers that we are, just live it, because now we are talking about juvenile correctional centers. It has not been put in place. There is no provision yet.
So once you commit, you go to jail.
Yourself is live a crime-free life.
Okay, you talk to the guys, while the speaker will talk to the babes. So go ahead.
So just live a crime-free life. Make sure you are not into cybercrime, you are not into theft, robbery, all that, kidnappings. Just live a crime-free life. Focus on your schools, even skills. If you are not going, that means that you are not going to school, but going to school is a compulsory. But if you live, that means you postpone the body and soul that don't want to go to school, go and learn a skill and keep yourself very busy, that you won't even think of any crime. Because some people, there is this boy that he did not want to go to school. His parents tried, but he did not want to go. So the father now said that the mother should leave the boy alone. So what the father now did is that he started studying his child to know what he has interest in. Because even in those times he was not going to school, you will see him flourishing around the streets, doing all sorts of things and causing troubles everywhere. So the father studied the child and found out that he has an interest in this particular woodwork stuff and all that, just technical stuff. So what he now did is that he now enrolled him, put him with one professional carpenter, all these things, yes. So now he will go to work by 7. He will just go to work by 7 in the morning. I'll be coming back by 7 at night. So with all the stress and all everything,
his time is taken.
Yes, when you come back, if your guys call you, come, let's hang around, please, I'm very tired, I need to rest, and I need to prepare for tomorrow's work. So you see that you now start occupying everybody. So parents should try and study their children, not only providing everything they need, just try and study everybody, your children, so that even if education does not work for them, want another thing will work.
That could be alternative.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, I think what I'm going to say now is some of my people that are watching, the people you look up to, there are certain things they are not telling you. They come to lecture hall with Bone Street, and you say, go some way, I want to know the way. They will not tell you some things. These people are giving up a lot. Then you, it's just like a secret call. They will not tell you the sacrifices you need. They just tell you, they'll show you the flashy things. And you, they might not even show you things for yourself, and you start asking, I want to be like you. You want to be like someone just because you saw the person putting on the street. Because you saw someone carry the person inside GLK to class. You've not asked question, who is that person? You've not asked. And then you want to be like the person. See, growth, yes. As you are coming up, lots of changes, like I said. But then, even those that rush into marriage, it does not end the marriage. It will give birth. You will provide education for that child. And Apostle Femi Lazarus said something. He said, you see those 60 things, it's just for a moment. The same way the sweet wine finished in Canaan. The wine will always finish. You see that marriage, everybody's doing.
And when it does, your eyes will open.
Your eyes will open. And others will not tell you. They will not tell you. The only thing you see is pre-wedding picture. You know, baby bump. Those fine ones. They will not tell you what's happening inside a marriage. So you're not seeing anything. And then you want to rush into it also. What's you're rushing into? You can still rush into it, or you can walk gradually into it some other times. But the repercussion, you cannot run away from it. Then you just need to choose what works for you. But know it. And the person you are looking up to is not telling you everything. So choose what's best for you.
Choose what's best for you. That's a very good one, coming from Mr. Speaker, Anambra. Children's Parliament this morning. I'd like to thank you guys for joining me. You have really done justice to this topic. The topic that says Anambra Children's Parliament, empowering the next generation for leadership and advocacy. Thank you very much for coming. Right Honorable Victory Ekunife, Speaker, Anambra State Children's Parliament. Thank you for coming, Mr. Speaker.
You're welcome.
And then Honorable Nwigwe Clinton, Deputy Speaker, Anambra State Children's Parliament. Thank you very much for coming, sir. Okay. Yes, and that's where we're drawing the curtain for this morning's discussion. Remember that sports will come immediately after this. My name is C. John Ma. Thank you very much for joining us.